Let's go. Merge, baby. Such a good feeling. Such a good feeling. Especially after last tribal where I was in the minority and it was Connor who went. It's a really good feeling making the merge where basically a bunch of doors open and a lot of possibilities can happen where it was maybe looking like I was going to be the next target if we had stayed as a tribe of 3. But now I have some allies that I can reunite with from the other side, and we can have a good game plan going forward. Yeah, so my initial thought when we were told we were going to merge was just happiness and jubilation, because for all those reasons, basically. Yeah, I know there are bigger targets out there than me, so it stands to reason that they're going to be, gunned after before myself. My game plan now is to kind of just lay low a little bit, just kind of reinsert myself into people's good graces and just kind of like follow kind of where the wind blows, where the tide goes. Once I kind of get my footing in there, I can kind of, initiate some other moves that will benefit me. But I think for right now, the smart thing would be to just kind of keep the target off me, just be nice to everyone, say yes to everyone, and just sticking with the majority wherever that may be.
I'm thinking we can get a lot of people on board with Lauren, to vote out Lauren. Lauren's kind of all over the place. Everyone's pretty sure she has that safety without power from Exile. And even though we had a good relationship on old Phil, I don't really see her working with me moving forward. So she's someone I'd like to get out. And then John, because John is too good at this game. He's too good at challenges, and he's really social, and he has good relationships with most people, and really knows how to play the game. So he's definitely on the list as well. But I wouldn't mind working with him for a few votes. Like if one of us wins, specifically me, Mike, and Lily, if one of us wins, Exile's one of the other, that just leaves the other person, I think, a bigger sitting duck.
I know.
So that's just the one thing you gotta weigh, I feel like.
I know.
But then again, I mean, like, that it might be an easier, it might be they might want to make a bigger move then and use us as a number, but.
Would it be weird to send Lauren?
Yeah, I mean.
Because
puts a bigger target on her back too, maybe.
In one way, like if she's the only person to go 3 times, people could target her, and then we could try to test her by being like, you have to tell us what you have, or else like we're coming for you.
Like we can't protect you.
Mm-hmm. It's like if you tell us what you have, we can protect you and work with it. If you don't, we'll get you out. Yeah. Or like we won't tell that to her face, but could secretly do that.
Do you think we should give her a heads up, like if we're considering it, or no?
No.
Okay. I really don't trust Lauren, because Lauren, I got put in a group chat with all new Phil, plus me. So that's Austin, Mackenzie, Jim, Lauren, Greg, and then I am like the oddball. When I talked to Jim, he said, I'll check with Mackenzie and then Lauren will create the group. So it sounds like they were probably all in on just new Phil getting together. And now that I got added in, it's like not happening. So I think that's a telling sign from Lauren. I mean, Mackenzie's made it clear we're not getting to the end together, which is fine. Because again, there's only so much we can do getting together so late in the game. But with Lauren, I don't know. It's all so messy.
How did really the vote for Connor go? Like, how did that really go down?
Oh, easy. I went and told Lauren and Greg, I was like, yeah, I don't want either one of you guys to go. I actually want Connor gone. And both of them were kind of like, yeah, as long as it's not me, blah blah blah. And we were like, well, it's going to take a lot because we still have to get at least one other person, but preferably 2 if we want this to actually work.
Yeah.
So the next day, we all talked to Austin and Jim, and it didn't take much convincing them. I think that Austin thinks it was his idea, which is cool. Like,
Andrew got on a call with me, and when I say that I orchestrated that he orchestrated that.
So Andrew's the one who wanted to vote out Connor.
Vote out Connor. And that was presumably maybe that he had heard his name out there to save his own ass.
Mm-hmm.
But in the scenario. But
from my conversations with Andrew, Connor was not long for this game.
Okay. I was more of the lines trying to see what kind of a splash it could make with this. And I think that with that, we can maybe put him on our radar for later.
He's
obviously we voted with him, so is he really going to accept it again?
I don't know.
Just gives us another opportunity.
Because we're going into this with 6 of us and 5 of them.
Exactly.
Right.
I know it wasn't the most popular decision, but in the long run of the game, it was our best chance. We don't need any information being leaked out anywhere that it doesn't need to be.
It's not just that, though. Like, sacrificing Connor also kind of builds more trust with the other people not in our alliance, too. Like, I get it. I understand the decision.
Okay.
Do I condone the decision? Not necessarily, but I understand it. Like, I knew it was one of 3 people going home. I knew it was either Greg, Lauren, or Connor going home.
I thought it was going to be Greg. But I guess, like, honestly, of all of us, of the 5 amigs, if it had to be Connor, it had to be Connor. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather be sitting here with you guys, you know, the adults.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy. I don't know what the frick is happening. I don't know who to trust. I don't know, like, what's going on. I don't know if it sounds like second version Phil is sticking together pretty strong. I have no trust in second Alexa sticking strong. I have no faith in literally anything anyone's telling me. I'm in multiple group Zooms with people that are saying different things, and then we don't acknowledge it when we get on Zooms one-on-one. It's very overwhelming, and it's all for nothing because we don't know who's going to win the challenge literally in 2 days, and then what's going to happen in the 24 hours between the challenge and who we vote. And the more I think I get in these conversations, the more I'm going to start to be on people's radar, which is ironic because I was seen as the weak link until recently, and I think Mackenzie called me the princess that everybody wants to work with. Not the best title I want to hear. I've been trying to throw out Mackenzie's name to see people's reactions because she's the most curveball, I think, because I think she's really easy to get along with, and as good as that'll be to keep for a while, I don't know how long term that is. She's made it very clear that I'm not long term for her. So
when the clue went out that Morgan sent out, I was on a call with Alex, and I didn't notice that she sent it at first, but I left the call being like, why was this kid so rude? Like, of all my introduction calls with anyone, no one has been like so blatantly disinterested in here, like even being polite and saying hello and getting to know me. And every time I would talk to him, or like he would ask me a question, he would immediately start looking at his phone or his computer or one of the two. And so I left extremely like, you know, offended, I guess you could say, by how rude he was. And then it dawned on me, because everyone was comparing notes as to who was where around noon, that the reason he was so rude was because he spent the whole time looking for the idol. And that's why he was super distracted and unable to hide it. So that's why I feel pretty strongly that he has the idol.
So Greg sends me a message this morning. Hey, I've got some time now. You want to chat? I'm like, yes, absolutely. Let's do this. Then Morgan sends tree mail. And this tree mail has a hidden immunity clue in it. And I'm freaking out. I'm just like, holy fuck, I just committed to this conversation with Greg, and I have to find a hidden immunity idol right now. So I'm passing it off as work, and I'm writing down everything. I wrote down all those letters from all the previous tree mails. I wrote down the sequence of numbers on the top of this tree mail, and when it all was said and done, it came out to say the first person in Survivor history who find what you seek. I'm seeking a hidden immunity idol, so that's definitely Gary Hogaboom. And what do you know? That's the second idol of the game in my pocket, which is great. I was getting a little nervous having this first one with Austin and Mackenzie knowing about it, but now I can play it and still have a second idol. Everything's coming up, John. Hopefully I can maintain this, and I can keep this all the way to the end.
Shit's crazy. I don't know what the frick is happening. I don't know who to trust. I don't know, what's going on. I don't know if it sounds like second version Phil is sticking together pretty strong. I have no trust in second Alexa sticking strong. I have no faith in literally anything anyone's telling me. I'm in multiple group Zooms with people that are saying different things, and then we don't acknowledge it when we get on Zooms one-on-one. It's very overwhelming, and it's all for nothing because we don't know who's going to win the challenge literally in 2 days, and then what's going to happen in the 24 hours between the challenge and who we vote. And the more I think I get in these conversations, the more I'm going to start to be on people's radar, which is ironic because I was seen as the weak link until recently, and I think Mackenzie called me the princess that everybody wants to work with. Not the best title I want here. I've been trying to throw out Mackenzie's name to see people's reactions because she's the most curveball, I think, because I think she's really easy to get along with, and as good as that'll be to keep for a while, I don't know how long-term that is. She's made it very clear that I'm not long-term for her, so...
You're mistaken if you don't think I'm going to give it my all on that challenge, because the only thing that you can pretty much say with certainty is that if you don't have immunity, you're thinking you're going home until you don't. So the only thing that will help take that feeling away is by winning individual immunity. So I will try my damn best to win that. I'm sure everyone else will too. It will be a fun challenge, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next part of the game has in store.
All right. Well, after a long weekend, we are here as a merged tribe, the final 11. Take it away, Morgan.
Well, hello, Paya Tribe.
Hey.
Welcome to your first individual immunity challenge. Tribal immunity is no more. Individual immunity is what you covet. For today's challenge, you will balance ping pong balls on the face of a ping pong paddle. At regular intervals, you will add ping pong balls. The last person standing wins immunity and is safe from the vote, guaranteeing themselves a spot in the final 10 of this game. Everyone else will be vulnerable at a tribal council, which I'm sure is guaranteed to be our most chaotic yet. Because Andrew broke a rule of the game, he is ineligible to compete in tonight's challenge. Everyone else will get set up and get things started. All right, you can go ahead and grab your first ball. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our first immunity challenge is on. Big challenge tonight. First merge. And
Lilly
just like that, Lilly is out.
And me.
Mackenzie's
close behind. We are down to 9.
Quickly, we drop from 11 to 9.
Michael drops.
Michael Zucker is out. It's all about that balance point. Jim's ball's starting to move a little bit. Greg's ball's starting to move a little bit. Everyone else looks pretty locked in right now.
Oop, Alex is moving a lot. He's able to recover it. Mike is on the move.
A lot.
Greg is on the move. Lauren and John and Austin looking very steady.
Alex is
I was trying to give the people at home something to look at.
How come they already look at me?
Hey.
This is a round by round affair. All you have to do is make it through the round, and you can grab your balance back.
Alex has not stopped moving this entire round,
You guys,
but he has somehow managed to keep the ball on his paddle.
there's like butter on mine or something. I swear.
Well,
Weird.
Lauren and Austin have not budged. Mike Simmons' ball is on the move and gets it right back.
Jim is looking very steady. Alex on the move again. He saves it.
Go ahead and grab your ball. This first round is over.
We will get started with round 2. I'll give you 10 seconds to get ready. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2 is on. Greg drops right away.
Now Austin drops. Just like that, we go from 7 to 4.
It's down to Lauren, Mike, John, and Jim. Great minds think alike, Ian. All 4 look very steady. But this game is all about focus. One wrong move and you can be out of this game.
Jim changes up his strategy from the first round to the second. Everyone else looks exactly the same.
Little movement from Jim. Movement from Jim.
Jim is out. Jim's balls both drop. Down to Lauren, John, and Mike.
All 3 have looked extremely steady throughout this entire challenge.
Be These three have proved that they are the best at juggling 2 balls.
Movement from John.
First movement of the whole challenge for John. Five seconds. Go ahead and grab your balls. LOL. We're going to be moving on to the next round.
You can put your balls in place. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everyone is locked in.
I'm beat.
Mike's on the
I'm
move.
I'm beat.
Mike's balls are all over the place and they drop. Mike is out. Down to 2. Warren versus John. John's balls start to move. Warren getting a little shaky over there. A 1 versus 1 showdown for the first individual immunity. 5 seconds. All right, go ahead and grab your balls. Moving on to another round.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. John is unable to make the transition to the new round. Lauren wins immunity.
Good job, John.
Congratulations.
Good job, Lauren.
First
Good
individual
job, John.
immunity goes to Lauren. All right. Lauren wins first individual immunity. Congratulations. We have tribal council tomorrow night where the other 10 of you are vulnerable. One of the 10 of you will be the 6th person voted out of this game, and it will not be Lauren. We'll see you tomorrow night for tribal council. Good night, everybody.
All right, well, shit, come out, win that first immunity challenge. Once they said it was the ping pong balls with the paddle, I'm thinking to myself, we'll give it a go and see what happens. I've won that type of challenge before in the first game I've ever played in, and damn, some of these people apparently fell out quickly. I normally do well blocking people out, so I have no idea when people fell, but someone told me that they fell in like the first 10 seconds, so oops on their part. I did talk about that I was maybe contemplating throwing the challenge, but anyone that knows me, I get competitive and I wanted to win, especially when it came down to John and myself. I couldn't let John beat me. I mean, come on. I just could not let him beat me. At that moment, him and I are standing at the end. It just was iconic. As soon as he couldn't make the transition, I was like, yes, I have it in the bag. Come out with the first immunity win of the season, and I couldn't be happier about it because the merge vote, let's be real, is always hectic, is always crazy. It's madness. Tribal Council is going to be epic tonight. So you people best stay tuned, watch, listen, and observe.
I don't think I've made a confessional about this yet, but I made the merge. I feel like against all odds, I made it here. I went to a lot of tribal councils. I lost a lot of challenges. But I'm happy to be here. And I feel like it's a new game. The game starts now, in my opinion. And boy, has it already started.
As I was talking to John, I tried to sell, why don't you and Lauren work together? And it didn't seem like he was too on board with it, which is good. I don't want them to work together, but I kept trying to push it And I hope I didn't push it too much to the fact that they end up working together if they're not already working together. But I was trying to push it a little bit so it wouldn't look like I was the one saying that the two of them are going after each other. So, I do want them to be the ones that go after each other on Monday. If it happens that way, perfect. If it doesn't, shit.
I've been growing more and more weary of Andrew as the game goes on. He spoke with me after the merge and suggested, hey, John, you and Lauren should work together. And I was like, interesting. Lines up with our big threats thing we were talking about earlier in the game, though. So, okay, kind of shrugged it off as a comment and moved along. The most damning thing about Andrew is he constantly is planting seeds in people's minds. It's never anything about the current vote. It's never, oh, we should get this person out. They're dangerous. Or, oh, who do you think we should vote out? It's always subtle comments. Yeah, John's a big threat in this game. Michael was in this alliance with these other people. Little things. Makes you think about the person. Is this person telling me the truth? But the big thing with Andrew that isn't going for him is he keeps giving information that no one confirms. Some of it might be correct, but a lot of it feels made up because no one else is coming out with anything near what he's saying. He even is now telling people, oh, do you think Lauren and John are working together? After suggesting the two of us work together. So he's definitely thinking ahead in this game, trying to paint a larger target on me. So the best thing I can do now, get him out of the game, and I should be able to get way more control moving forward.
But I don't necessarily think that I would be next in line. I think that there are other bigger targets in the game still, which is good, because after this round, I know I said this last round, but after this round, I do want to take a backseat for a couple of rounds and let these people go after each other for a little bit, and then peek my head out, and then go back into hiding, and see how far that gets me.
I had some brief meetings last night afterwards, and as of 8 hours before tribal tonight, looks like most of the votes may go to Alex, but no, there's a lot of time left, and I'm sure that's going to change. So we'll see.
So hopefully tonight's plan works out how I would expect it to work out, with thinking everyone that Alex and Jim are the votes, but hopefully somebody else goes home.
I don't know what to do. The other thing I'm worried about is that if I'm right in saying that the biggest threats in the game are maybe John, Lauren, Mackenzie, and Austin, that if I get the other people to work together with the help of, everyone else's relationships, that I might then be considered the biggest threat out of that majority. Whereas if I work with John, Lauren, Mackenzie, and Austin, I am not the biggest threat in that group.
First, this is only my second tribal council here. I have no idea what to expect. Everyone's pulling me every which direction. Honestly, right now, I don't even know where my vote's going. It's going to be a game time decision. It seems like it's either going to be Andrew or Jim. But then John's name got thrown at me just 5 minutes ago. And then Alex's name is still out there. People think Alex has an idol. People think John has an idol. People think Andrew has an idol. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to hopefully just feel it out and stick with. I don't even know what I'm going to stick with. It's a toss up. I really don't know.
I really have a feeling, and it's always dangerous throwing this out there, but I just have a feeling Lauren's kind of uniting them over there in a way, because She's has some kind of relationship with Greg. She has a relationship with Austin and Mackenzie. And Jim's been with Austin and Mackenzie for a while. So I kind of feel like that's kind of like their glue over there.
Yeah.
And, if they're meeting as a group, they have 5? We have 6 right here in this call, and so if they want to stick with that 5, they're going to have to come get one of us.
I think it's also important to keep in mind that like Mackenzie and Austin were willing to go to rocks for Jim and save Jim.
Yeah.
So not only does that show they obviously want to work with him.
If we want to get into that further, because I've learned more information about that.
Okay.
Jim was throwing Austin's name out at that tribal council.
Jim was?
Yeah.
At the one they went to rocks to?
Yeah.
Lily, I'm on a one-on-one with her, and I said, hey, did you tell Alex that his name has been tossed around? And she goes, no, I haven't. Like, I didn't mention that to him. I'm sitting here like, Bing, what? Excuse me. I know you've tossed his name around because I was on a one-on-one call with Alex, and Alex said that Lily told him that his name was floating around. Lily, really? Now I can't trust you. And aside from that, I straight up asked you, was there an Alexa 2.0 chat, Zoom call? And you said, nope, didn't happen. Yes, it did happen. And I can fact check that too. So strike number 2 on you for that. Literally, are you kidding me? You guys had a chat. Just be open and honest about it. But I don't think she knows that I talk to more people in this game. I don't think she's aware of that. Sorry, Lily. I want your ass out of this game. You have got to go. I can't have this chaos in my life. The fact that you lied to me twice straight to my face when I can just go and fact check it. And I think you're playing the card, the super sweet girl that's flying under the radar when you're actually way smarter than you're letting on. And I'm giving you credit for this. You're really, really smart, but I caught on to you. So is Mackenzie. And then you're trying to pitch that Mackenzie and I are a duo. Nope. You have got to go. Your exit is coming up shortly. If it's not on this vote, it's on the next vote.
A pretty interesting position here where Alex and Lily really trust me and want me to go with them. But then Austin, John, Lauren, Mackenzie, Greg, and myself would be another 6 that they're trying to pull me in to vote now Andrew. The group somehow thinks that Alex has an idol, so they're trying to make him a little bit paranoid, thinking that we're voting him, and then put the votes on Andrews, hoping that Alex plays an idol. No, he doesn't get any votes. Andrew goes home. So, I've been with Alex and Lily since the beginning of the game. We've been tight since the very beginning of the game. So it's kind of puts me in a tough position because I think being with the other group is actually a little bit better for me. But I don't want to just lie to them and then we come back to the beach after tribal council and it's a mess.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to tribal council, our biggest one yet. We have 11 people here. So we have the Paya tribe. Talk to me about the name. Who came up with the idea and where did it come from?
Jimmy.
Jim, that's Jim. I guess that would be me. It's pretty simple. It's just the first letter of the Phil tribe, the Lexi tribe, and the Jordan tribe. P-I-A. That was it. That's simple.
So Jim, how are you feeling about making it to the merge?
Feel good. Not so sure about tonight, but I feel it's good at least making it this far.
You're not sure about tonight?
Yeah, you hear things and you worry a little bit.
What kinds of things are you hearing?
Just, you hear your name here and there and it gets you a little worried. Well, no, I don't have any idols, so we'll see.
So Austin, how does the game change now that we're at the individual stage?
I think that the game totally changes for the fact of, essentially when you were with, a group, you rely severally on different individuals to not carry you, but to base your own strengths off of. Whereas like the merge, you're counting on Mr. or Mrs. One and Only. Like that's all the gameplay revolves around, essentially at this point, is you, yourself, and I.
Now, because of the various pre-merge tribe configurations, everyone has had lots of opportunities to meet and vote with different groups of people. So, Michael, how do you navigate all of these different relationships?
It's tough. It's tough to navigate. Like you said, we've had many configurations as smaller groups and larger groups. We've basically all been together for some point or another. So it's tough to balance what you perceive to be maybe a relationship or an alliance, and maybe that other person is trying to play that off, but all the while has alternate plan. So ultimately you have to trust the people that you can see yourself working with and hope they feel the same about you. At the end of the day, that's what you have to do to survive. So I have the trust in the people that I've said I want to work with, and I just hope that they feel the same way about me.
Yeah, now, Andrew, Austin said that at this point in the game, you're just worrying about yourself. But I feel like, and Michael said it too, we have all these different relationships going on. I feel like you have to be able to work with people. You have to be able to have trust with people in order to make it to the end. So where does trust fall with you right now?
Trust falls with, as I guess the only tribal I've been to, but as I said at my last tribal, the point of all these tribe swaps is to put you in situations where you have to build trust with different individuals, and just kind of hope that carries over just in case there's another swap or an inevitable merge we hit. So right now I'm going based off of people that I bonded with and or established trust with from day one. Some people's trust came later in the game. That doesn't mean that the people that came before them have to take, have that first spot. It's just all about how you feel about certain people as the game progresses.
All right, let's talk about our first immunity challenge, our first individual immunity challenge. Lilly, be honest with me. Are you worried about being labeled this season's challenged beast?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I drank tons of water after my phenomenal performance yesterday. Yeah, really the contrary. I'm not trying to get so, quote unquote carried through this game. So hopefully you guys can pull out a challenge I can compete in.
Fair enough. Lauren, how about you? You won the challenge, but there are pros and cons to winning immunity, especially early on in this individual stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, there are pros and cons to winning immunity, but let's look at some challenges here. How these games work is some of them are like minute to win it competitions. You might be good at one type of challenge and you might suck at another type of challenge. I was awful at the water bottle challenge, terrible. But then yet I was able to come and win this one. So I don't necessarily think that you can say anyone in this game could be a challenge threat, because you could come with a particular challenge that someone can kick ass in and then they could be horrendous at a different one. So it just depends. It's how the game works. I will say I am happy to have immunity at the merge vote. It's a critical vote, and anything can happen at the merge. You see it in so many different types of Survivor seasons. You never know what's gonna happen. It's merge, baby.
It is the merge. Who really feels like they needed to win that immunity yesterday? Is anybody willing to admit that?
I feel like all of us should have.
I feel like you're crazy if you don't feel like that. Yeah.
I just had no shot.
It was just not going to happen for me. We learned that 30 seconds in.
Alex, talk to me about how you're feeling. You raised your hand first.
Yeah, I mean, well, like Lauren said, I mean, winning that first immunity, it's such a chaotic vote that I feel like this is going to be, it's nice to have that protection. I'm sure it was nice for Lauren to go the last 24 hours with knowing in the back of her mind, at least it can't be me. But yeah, I mean, like Jim said earlier, you know, hearing you hear names, and you know, paranoia is a hell of a drug, and rumors fly around this place fast. And once rumors start going, people start believing it, and then that puts targets on people's back. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now.
Very interesting. So, Mackenzie, you guys have had 5 days as the merged Paya tribe. How would you describe the last 5 days?
I think that there are some people who took advantage of the vacation that you gave us, and some people who were like, oh, this is just even more opportunity to play open season this game. I mean, there was conversations going on holy holidays, you know, like it was definitely a busy 5 days for sure.
Austin, is there anybody calling the shots on this tribe?
I think so. I mean, the whole aspect of originally working together as like separate tribes. Now you're working together, and I want to clarify that because you're putting words in my mouth originally when I didn't say. First of all, for the challenge aspect, that was relying on each other for different strengths in challenge, not relying on each other carrying people through the game. And now it's all about number one. Like, I want to make that very clear. Like,
fair enough. Glad you were able to clarify.
No. Making sure you got all your facts straight. That's all. But I mean, in my mind, it's more of just a collective idea rather than someone calling the shots, so to speak.
So, John, the twist of the season is Exile Island. Has there been any talk how this may or may not show up at this new stage of the game?
Yeah, of course. There's tons of speculation over the weekend of like, how's Exile playing into this? Is someone going to win immunity and go to Exile Island? Is the winner of the immunity challenge going to send someone to Exile Island? If they get sent to Exile Island, do they come back before Tribal Council or after Tribal Council? Yeah, there was a lot of speculation, but I think at one point, everyone kind of just like, I guess we'll find out at the challenge.
So has there been any consensus about what's going to happen?
No, who knows what you're going to throw at us?
Fair
Is it over?
I don't know.
That's a no.
Andrew, talk to me about advantages. What is out there right now?
Most, there are 3 idols. I would say at least 2. I don't think that there's more than 3, and I also don't know what those items could be. I said idols, but they could be anything. I'm not the most I don't want to say attentive because I'm very attentive. I'm not attentive when it comes to important things like clues posted at like 10 o'clock in the morning, or like clues that come in your box of items, or things like that. So I know that they're out there. We've only seen one played so far. And you just gotta hope that if you do have one, that you play it at the right time.
Now, Greg, there are 6 original Alexa and 5 original Phil. Do you have people you can trust in this game?
I hope so. Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think this vote will kind of show maybe who you can trust and who you can't, maybe. But yeah, right now I do feel like I have people I can trust in the game.
Do you think tonight's vote is going to go along tribal lines?
It could. But I think the sense from everyone is that the tribes that we were originally put on and the tribes that we swapped on were kind of artificial boundaries in the game that no longer exist. I think we all had the time for the last 5 days to get to know people you hadn't talked with, to reconnect with people you talked with in the first part of the game on original tribes. I think there's 11 people here who are playing their own game. No one probably has the same path to the end. I don't think anyone knows that anyone can immediately get to the end at this point. I think it's still too early. So I think you have to use the relationships that you've built and form new ones to see how that can get you through each vote.
Mike, what is tonight's vote about for you?
Not going home. I'm hoping I can just, believe in some people and hope that they do what they say. That's really all it is at this point. Can't read too much into it.
So just pure survival mode at this point.
That's the name of the game.
That's true. Lily, how confident are you about tonight's vote?
I wouldn't bet on it, that's for sure. Probably 10%, less than 10%. I feel like if you're confident, you've got something wrong. There's too many people in this game. You know what I mean? There's too many relationships. I don't see these people on a beach. It's the hardest part, So it's just I gotta go with my gut, my intuition, and the people that I've talked with, and move on from there.
John, what do people need to be thinking about as they go to vote tonight?
They need to think about their own game. What is better for them moving forward? If that means working in Old Tribe Alliance, it means working in Old Tribe Alliance. If it means capitalizing on new relationships, it means capitalizing on new relationships.
Fair enough. Does anybody else have anything to add? All right, with that, it is time to vote.
Sorry. I hate to vote out a fellow Michigander, but you or me.
Great guy. I guess if he goes home, I think I've become the oldest person in the game. So I'm voting for Jim.
I'm voting out Jim. I know this isn't the right answer, but I can't bring myself to vote anyone else out, so.
Unfortunately, when you come from my #1 ally in the game and you make no effort to hide it from me, you're gonna have to be the one to go instead.
I had to take the shot at you before you took the shot at me.
You know that saying, too many chiefs, not enough Indians? In this tribe, there's too many coaches. Checkmate.
Okay, I'll go tally the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the Zoom call immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Jim. 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 That's 3 votes, Jim. Andrew. 1 vote, Andrew. Andrew. We're tied. That's 3 votes, Jim. 3 votes, Andrew. 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 Sixth person voted out of Survivor Exile Island and the first member of our jury, Andrew. Andrew, the tribe has spoken.
Hi, guys.
We love you.
Andrew. Game, Andrew.
You had 5 days to make something happen, and it seems like you made it happen. 1 vote down in the individual stage and 1 blindside down. It's going to be a tough road. We will see you tomorrow night for the next immunity challenge. Good night, everyone.
Night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Well, the reason that I put my hat on right before the votes were read was I started to get suspicious. And I told everyone I would tip my hat to everyone if I were to get voted out. And I wasn't wearing my hat until I started getting suspicious. And then when I saw the first Andrew pop up, I'm like, yeah, they got me. But it's, it's fine. It's part of the game. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. And, whether she voted for me or not, I'm hoping that Lilly does win. But, we've got a long way to go. We've got a couple more weeks before we get to that point.